We're talking to Professor Daniel T. Jones, author of several books on lean and lean production. And the first question is, what do you think, which impact does digitalization has on the organization?
I think we're only just beginning to see the impact on the organization. It means that we can communicate with our customers and get feedback from our customers every day in real time. We can connect everybody in the organization in real time so that we can actually use the learning of the organization about things that are going wrong and things that need to be improved and so on. We can collect that from customers, we can collect that from the organization, and we can build on that. Instead of waiting for product development in several years' time to develop a next product, the digital world is going to mean that we have to integrate the knowledge coming from customers and from the shop floor with the expert knowledge of the technologists in designing products. And we have to build those into a cycle that is not years, not months, but probably days in the future. That's happened in the software industry already.
Considering we're talking about the third revolution of industry, is this already going on, and where do you see the signs that it's going on?
Well, I see the signs that people are beginning to realize the changes that are necessary, and the changes that are necessary aren't so much the technology, actually, or even the integration of software and hardware technologies, which is a challenge. The real obstacle is the way we think, both about the technology and about the organization, and that thinking results in a structure and an organization that is actually not geared to rapid change and not geared to learning. So I think there are organizations that are at the frontier that are learning that they need this and that they need to think about creating a learning organization that learns and integrates knowledge very quickly. And they're experimenting with it. So that we heard a presentation by GE, which is one of the leading companies that is experimenting with a different way of thinking about designing and developing, delivering products in the future. And that's very exciting. And I think there are a lot of experiments going on in Germany too, because German industry realizes that knowledge of hardware alone is no longer going to be enough.
And what do you think, is German industry in a good way already?
Well, German industry is very strong, no question, technically very strong. German industry, I think, recognizes that it has to change. And as I say, I think the biggest changes are going to be the legacy mindsets at the top of the organization about how we lead in a world that needs rapid change. And its leading is not by separating strategy and execution, which is traditional way of thinking. It's actually learning and acting fast and being dynamic and creating teams, cross-functional teams and so on to solve problems is a very different way of leading in the future. And that's the biggest challenge for German industry, is to get beyond thinking the experts will solve things and thinking that the experts know everything and thinking that top management knows everything. Top management knows the context and the direction we need to go. We need to create an organization that can follow that direction much faster. And so I think German industry is facing the challenge right now. And I think we will see a lot of good experiments. We will see a lot of experiments that don't work, but that's fine. That's the nature of things. So I'm actually optimistic that at least for some, digital disruption is not inevitable.
And wouldn't you say there needs to be a cultural change to change our mindset as well, like in schools and the way we learn about our profession?
No question. You're right, this is a mindset change, and we need to begin right at the bottom by teaching problem solving in schools and teaching how to work together in teams in schools, right in the primary schools. And that is beginning in places to happen. We're seeing lean experiments in primary schools and in secondary schools and even in universities across the world. So I think there is the beginning of a cultural change happening. Senior management, I still think, doesn't get how significant the change is for the way they have behaved in the past and the way they have to behave in the future. And so that's the real challenge. So this won't happen overnight. But if we have clear visionaries identifying the direction, then people will be able to follow that. And that's what I'm trying to do, and that's what we're trying to do in our latest book, Lean Strategy, which will be out in June, is to take the whole lean debate one step further about how we move from implementing a management system, a better management system, to actually developing an organization that can learn and change much faster than we have in the past.
That's fascinating times we're in.
Yes, it is fascinating times. I'm very excited about the digital age because it means we have to change. And it means that change is urgent and very important. And I look to Germany to be one of the places that comes up with the answer in a few years' time about what the organization of the future looks like. It will look different. I don't know exactly how different, but it will look different to them. And so we need a lot of experiments to find a vision of what actually works in this new age.
Thank you very much.